Howdy y'all, Military Martha here, and today I'm going to teach y'all how to darn a darn sock. Now I know what you're saying. You're probably saying to yourself, Military Martha, if I get a hole in one of my socks, I just run on over to the Walmart and buy myself a new pair. Now that's probably a real good idea and it's probably real convenient, but I'm telling you right now, you may be someplace where you don't have the opportunity to go to a Walmart and you need to know how to darn a darn sock in a darn emergency. So I'm going to teach you how to darn a darn sock today. So the first thing you're going to need is some supplies. The most important thing you're going to need is a good pair of scissors. The next thing you're going to need is some thread. Now, any old thread will do in an emergency, but if you have the time, you want to pick a nice quality cotton thread, something with some strength to it. Now, quilter's thread or those fancy silk threads, those are all nice and everything, but just a regular old plain cotton thread that gives a lot of strength to the seam that you're going to be sewing back together is really what you want. And you want to make sure that you buy a color that matches your socks. So for example, if you have red socks, red thread. If you have blue socks, blue thread. I have white socks, so white thread. And last but not least, you're going to need a needle. Now this one's pretty big needle. You don't have to use one quite this big, and I've already pre-threaded it, as you can see. I'm using a big one for the purposes of being able to see it, so y'all can see that it's a needle. And as I said, I've already threaded it, just like that, and I will show you in a moment how to do that. And last, but certainly not least, you're going to need one more tool. Now this tool is so ingenious. In fact, Granny Martha is the one who taught me how to use this, and it was such a great idea that I've used it ever since. That's right, y'all. One of those old light bulbs that we all have laying around the house. These are perfect instruments to use for darning a darn sock in an emergency. Now, you don't want to use the coily ones because they aren't quite as effective. You want these simple round ones with a nice round head to them, because this is what you put inside your sock to help you darn the darn thing. So, if you don't have one of these, don't worry, you can always use your hand, but this really frees up both hands so that you can have them to use to darn your darn sock. Now, what you're going to need next is a darn sock with a darn hole in it. You're going to need a darn sock with a darn hole in it. Oh my goodness. You're going to need a darn sock with a darn hole in it. Oh, for Pete's sake. A darn sock with a darn hole in it. Oh my goodness. Don't try this at home, y'all. I'm going to make a hole in this sock if it kills me. There we go. Alright. Darn sock with a darn hole. See that? Nice good sized hole. Now, the first thing you're going to do is take your light bulb and put it inside your inside out sock. You want to turn your sock inside out, because you don't want the seam to show on the outside of your sock. So you're going to turn the whole thing inside out. Once you got that turned inside out, the next part is easy. Just take your light bulb and put it inside your sock. And put it down there where the hole is. Now if the hole was in the heel, you would put the head of the light bulb down in the heel. But since it's up here on the toe, we're going to put it up here near the toe. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your needle and your thread, and you're going to thread your needle. Now it's really easy to do, and the reason I picked this large one is because see, it's got a real large eye of the needle there. Can you see that? Now, I pre-threaded it because if I try to do it right now, it'll take me 20 minutes, and y'all don't want to wait on me to thread my needle. The important thing is you take your two pieces of string, because you threaded it through the hole like that, see? You take your two pieces of string and you even them out, just like this. Bring them together and tie them in a little knot, y'all. Just like that. This is what's going to hold your seam together. It's that little knot there, so that's the starting point. Now you take your needle and you go through your hole. Now I like to start a little ways down the seam, just a little bit further down, so that I can make sure that I get all of that sock in there. I don't leave any holes at all. And you just take your needle and thread, and you just put it through one side, just like that, and then straight through your other side, just like that, and pull it as tight as you can. Alright, in the front door, out the back door, close it up tight. And don't be worried if you get a few knots and stuff in your thread. That happens. Just, you know, keep working with it. So in through the front door out through the back door, close the door tight. One more time, in through the front door, out through the back door, close it up tight. And just keep going until that hole is gone and sealed up completely. Alrighty. This is so simple, y'all. You can teach your children to do this, and then they can call themselves sewers or seamstresses. Now I like to, because it's on the toe of the sock, I like to go back through and do this twice. Just to make sure it's nice and sturdy seam and it doesn't come undone, because sometimes, you know, you stick your big toe right through that hole even though you've bound it all up. But this makes a nice reinforced double stitched seam right along that hole. You just keep going, like I said, until you get to the end. And you can use the light bulb to kind of pull it around a little bit. You can't reach a certain spot, you just pull it up there and hold it tight. Like I said, just keep going. In through the front door, out through the back door, close it up tight. And once you get to the end of your seam and you've sewn it all together, you see how that is there? It's a little rough, but that's okay. We don't mind, it's sealed. You're going to make a knot in the bottom of your thread, and you're going to pull it as tight as you can so it's as close to the seam as is possible. And I like to do it twice just for luck. Alright, and then you take your scissors and you cut as close to that knot as you can get without actually cutting the knot. And y'all see that? You have a nice straight seam, your little knots are right there. See that? And now you have darned a darn sock. Just take out your light bulb. Oops. Take your sock and turn it back inside out. The way it's supposed to go. And I will be darned if you don't have a darn sock without a darn hole in it. This has been Military Martha, y'all, for the Homefront United Network. May all your eats be good and your journeys be safe, and so on. And it just looks like brand new, doesn't it? I kind of like that. I wonder if I should do a few others just in case. Huh.